As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Rivian. I love their product, and I love the vibe that they give off in this adventurous spirit they have with their vehicles, and I appreciate all of their employee honesty whenever you ask them most questions, but the most difficult one for me, after going to the First Mile event twice, was actually asking, if I order one of these trucks today, when should I get it? And the answer is always kind of mixed. It's like, we can't really comment on that, besides it depends on, your location, it depends on what kind of truck you order, it depends on the max pack or the regular pack, it depends on the color. There's all these variables they want to tell you about, but when I ask them like, okay, which colors should I get first? And like, can you give me any kind of ballpark? And all they could really tell us was that maybe sometime next year. Like, that's the most specific we could get. And now Rivian has started sending out estimated delivery windows for more and more of their launch reservation holders, which you can't become a launch reservation holder anymore because that's sold out within a week once Rivian's configurator went live. So that means everyone now is forced to either order the Explore package or the Adventure package. And thanks to Rivian forums actually running some polls to see what kind of estimated deliveries these launch reservation people have been getting, it seems like the bulk of R1T deliveries for customers is not going to start until March of 2022. Thankfully, that's only a couple of months away. It's easy to forget 2021 is almost over. But R1S seems to have gotten pushed back even more so, because these reservations, at least according to the people on Rivian forums that have put a deposit down, are saying that the earliest possible R1S delivery date is around May or June, so it's looking more like summer of 2022, even though originally on Rivian's site they were anticipating the launch version of the R1S to begin deliveries in early 2022. So I'm guessing the chip shortage and perhaps production hell is kind of slowing them down. I think we kind of underappreciate how nice it is on Tesla's website to occasionally get some estimated delivery windows, and some people complain a lot how when you reserve a Tesla it's constantly changing, and one day it'll be expect delivery within a couple weeks, and then the next day it's expect delivery in a couple months. But at least Tesla is actively like giving you some window to work with. A lot of legacy automakers that are taking reservations for these EVs are not giving much windows at all, and Rivian seems to be fairly bumpy because they've never mass-produced a vehicle before in telling new customers when to expect their deliveries. They've said that if you reserved an Explore edition or an Adventure package of the R1T, you'll get an estimated delivery window by the end of this year, but they still don't have one. And I have to imagine the launch editions are going to be prioritized, of course, because that's the launch, which means that my guess, I could be wrong here, is that if you were to order a Rivian Explore package today, you're probably not even going to get it until the fourth quarter of next year, because these vehicles Rivian is building are consuming a lot of batteries, the chip shortage is not helping, and they've never done mass production before, so there's a lot of kinks they gotta iron out in these manufacturing lines. And I wouldn't be shocked if some of these deliveries get delayed again, because Rivian is kind of a rookie in this regard. They're not exactly great at pitching a timeline and then delivering on that timeline. So we don't know how many people have already ordered an Explore package. It's difficult to say. Likely somewhere between 40 and 50,000 reservations have been made. When I talked to a Rivian employee at the First Mile event, they said there had been over 200 vehicle deliveries, but now seeing all of these emails go out and saying don't expect your R1T to deliver earlier than March makes me wonder if all of the R1Ts being delivered are primarily for employees, just because, we've seen R1Ts with official customer plates driving around in public, but when it comes to verified owners that are actually posting and tweeting about their R1T experience, that seems to be fairly quiet and not that many people are talking about it. So I know many people out there were thinking maybe I could get an R1T earlier than a Model Y, because when I go on the website it says deliveries will begin January 2022, when in reality the back order is so long I wouldn't put much faith in Rivian's estimated timeline, because if they experience even more production bottlenecks in the future with the R1T ramp and the R1S ramp, not to mention they gotta somehow prioritize the Amazon delivery van on top of all of this, there's basically a good chance you might order a Rivian R1T today and not even see it deliver until 2023. I see that very possible, and while it's awesome that Rivian has technically started deliveries for some customers that happen to work for them, that first mover advantage may not be as big as people realize, and I would not be shocked if the Cybertruck catches up on total deliveries of the Rivian within just a couple of quarters, because Giga Texas is massive and they likely won't start Cybertruck production until they can have a pretty high run rate with it. So sucks to be the bearer of bad news, and I'm sorry to all of you Rivian reservation holders that are probably going to have to wait for a while, but the reality is this is a very awesome product, but it's very complicated as well. There's so many switches and toggles and a lot of complexities in the interiors, and I'm sure the wiring and how the battery is managed on the inside is far more complicated than anything we can see on the outside. So it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of work for Rivian to find a way to mass produce this effectively, and it might start to make more sense why Tesla goes so simple and minimal with their interiors and leaves out a lot of basic features, because that allows them to ramp the vehicle much faster, and that's probably what's going to allow them to continue delivering more electric vehicles than anyone else on the planet, and frankly, I don't see that changing anytime soon. So thank you to all of our patrons for supporting me in my endeavor of saving up for a Tesla Model Y, and to everyone else, thank you of course for watching. It does make a big difference, and I hope y'all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Take care.